What's up, guys? Welcome back to another video. This is going to be your astrological monthly overview for the month of July of 2024. Alright guys, here we are, the middle of summer basically, middle of the year. We still have a lot to talk about. July is, for the most part, there's a lot of direct energy. You know, a lot of planets are still moving forward at this point, which is pretty good. You know, it's what we like. The energy to just keep flowing. You know, pushing forward on any plans, goals, anything that you want to, you know, basically accomplish. This is probably, at least for half of the month, will be very beneficial if you want to keep this momentum really rolling. And then the second half of the month, towards the end of the month, of July, the energy starts to slow down again. We get back into retrograde energy. We do have, you know, a lot of planets going into retrograde throughout this month at least. So in the background, there is a lot of like holding off, slowing down, you know, pulling on, you know, hitting the brake, you know, trying to just like, we need to like revise things that have been going on over this past year, or over the past couple months at least. So we're going to be dealing with this stuff throughout this month, but for the most part, July is a very easygoing, I guess easygoing. I wouldn't say easygoing because we do have oppositions to Pluto this month, which won't feel easy. But aside from that, there's a lot of good energy, a lot of harmonious aspects happening this month. And we're going to be going through, you know, I'll be showing you on the chart here. We'll be talking about all the main transits, energies of, you know, that will be appearing throughout this month. It is a very exciting month still. So yeah, let's just kind of jump into it. That's kind of just like the whole basic, you know, summary of the whole month. We will basically go through day by day. You know, talking about what's going on and, you know, giving little keywords or just little explanations of how these energies will play out this month. But before we jump in, if you have been enjoying these videos, I really would appreciate you guys if you could maybe hit the like button, share, subscribe to my channel, or join my Patreon as a member. You'll get these videos a little earlier than when I post them a little later on YouTube, but it's just a little early access, you know, which would support me, you know, and I'll support you guys, you know, by giving you these videos every month. I've been doing at least a couple videos each month, just so you guys know. So yeah, please like, share, and subscribe to all those fun things. Hit the notification bell whenever I post out a video. You'll be notified about that. That's also another you know, chance for you to, you know, stay up to date with what I'm doing. So yeah, I hope you guys have been enjoying this. I've been really enjoying it, doing these videos for you guys. Another thing, I want to advertise the merch. I have some merch on right now, and I really hope you guys are enjoying that, because there's going to be more merch coming out every month. I've been releasing new designs for the merch on my website every month. I just released the Cancer, new Cancer merch is out available now. If you want to check that out, it's a very cool design. I am very excited when I, you know, release these things. I have on the Leo hat. I got that last year. This was one of the Leo designs that I have made. And then I'm wearing one of the tarot cards. This is the Tower. I'll stand up so you guys can see it. Very cool design, very cool stuff. There's zodiac sign designs, tarot card designs, there's planetary designs, you know, planets in certain zodiac signs. If you have any of those that I have made on the website, check it out. You know, maybe you'll find something that you actually like. There's not a lot of them, but there's a good handful of them. But there's a lot of other stuff, you know, on there. We have these coffee mugs. We have the Chinese zodiacs 2024 Year of the Dragon. We also have some other cool stuff. I also have water bottles on there as well. Codiverse Astrology water bottle, pretty cool. There's backpacks, there's, you know, joggers on there, more hats, there's yeah, a bunch of stuff, shirts, a lot of stuff, guys. A lot of stuff, guys. It's been really cool. I love doing it. I've been, just as much as love doing these videos for you. Just trying to, provide something, for anybody. And people have been loving it. I've been really getting a lot of good responses on it. So it's not just me saying it. Other people have been really loving it, and that's what makes it more exciting. So it's cool. I'm excited to do this. I will be probably posting or making some new Leo merch very soon, towards the end of the month of July. So if you're interested in waiting for that, be on the lookout. I will put all this information in the description box below. So if you are interested in that as well, yeah, I do have a lot of promotions happening as well every month as well. So that's another advertisement I should say before we jump into this. All that stuff will be in the box below. So if you want to learn more. Links and portals, all that stuff. So, okay, jumping into July. I just want to think if there anything else I want to mention before we start. I don't think so. Maybe I'll think of it later on if it pops up. Okay, so July. What I know I kind of just gave you a little summary, basically, of what the month will be like. First half is pretty much forward movement. But in the background, there are outer planets starting to become retrograde. Saturn just went retrograde on June 29th, which I am actually recording on the day that Saturn is stationing, which is, because I have time to do this. And it's just kind of cool to think about that and record this. Neptune's basically going to be stationing within the first couple days into July. And we'll talk about that as we get to this. I will also put timestamps on this video because I've been doing zodiac sign horoscopes towards the end of the video. So if you're interested in listening to those, go ahead. If you don't want to hear the basic overview of the whole month, you just go straight to the zodiac. You can, but I would recommend at least to listen to the overall astrological, I guess the first part, I should say, of this video, and then going into it, it'll make more sense. And you should probably follow for your rising sign as well, because that's what I do, just like a lot of other astrologers. Okay, I think that's it. Let's just jump into this month. Yeah, let's go. So like I said, the first couple days, Neptune will be stationing retrograde. I have it on, it's actually on the 2nd of July. First thing that actually happens while that is happening is Mercury's going into the sign of Leo. And if you watched my Cancer video, I talked basically half of this month already in that video, because I've only done, when I'm doing the seasonal horoscopes, I'm only talking about the sun through that sign. The whole astrological monthly overview, I talk about the whole thing, the whole month. We go to, every sign basically that is happening each month. And in the Cancer season video, I talked about basically some of this stuff. So I could be repeating myself if you've seen that already, but if you haven't, yeah, here's another take of it. So Mercury enters Leo on the 2nd, as well as Neptune going retrograde. Okay, so let's start with Neptune stationing retrograde first. So, just like Saturn stationing retrograde a few days before this, the energy's been slowing down. It's been very loud between, having Saturn's energy, responsibilities, where our limits lie, where we are restricted still and need more work on and stuff like that, responsibilities, maturity, disciplining ourselves, all that stuff we're going to be going back over the next few months. Trying to implement what's real and what's working for us, what's not working for us, and try to improve the hard work that needs to be required as Saturn goes retrograde. On top of that, Neptune is kind of the same thing, but Neptune's mainly about illusions, fantasies, dreams, all that kind of stuff. And when Neptune stations retrograde and does its retrograde cycle, it'll be a time of really understanding what illusions have been brought to us, what's been real and what's been not real, because there's a lot of themes and things that Neptune provides that really bring a lot of illusions and stuff. It's not real. but it has a like a, I don't know, it's a very outer kind of like a 45D type of energy that kind of like, you know, draws us into certain situations or whatever, which can be good or bad. But now that Neptune is going through retrograde, we're gonna start to understand like where we've been deceived, or like who's wronged us, manipulated us, or just like kind of work on our like going back over our dreams of, you know, of what path we are supposed to be on. Let's see, our intuition will be very heightened as this transit, you know, progresses. Yeah, like I said, we're gonna have to go back over any aspirations that we want to accomplish and make more real over this time. Anything to do with fantasies, dreams, keeping a dream journal, writing that stuff down will really help. Excuse me. The veil will be very, very thin as Neptune changes directions, really heightening its energy, as well as Saturn, like I just mentioned. Yeah, so, but as this transit progresses and does its whole retrograde thing, we're going to start to understand like what's beyond our control, what's beyond the 3D level, what's beyond anything that we cannot see. And we're going to have to, you know, provide more faith into, you know, our daily lives, into any goals we are wanting to accomplish. That's kind of like Saturn and Pisces as well. It's a very internal look through our lives and how we can manage more faith by being more disciplined into doing certain things in our lives. And that's the whole, you know, I mean, even Neptune, you know, I think any planet through, you know, going through Pisces will really like focus on this faith and this internal world that we are basically in. And we have to like really, like, as you know, the past couple of years, especially having Saturn going through Pisces, have been, you know, a little challenging. You know, we can't really flow with this Pisces energy. You know, we've been restricted. We've been shown our limitations of how far we can, you know, provide, you know, faith, and in order to earn that, I guess, reward of what it's providing. So just think about that over the next couple months, for the rest of the year, I should say. Let's move on to Mercury and Leo. So Mercury and Leo, yes, it's going opposite Pluto, which is going to be very challenging. Like I said, these planets going into Leo, opposite Pluto and Aquarius, it's going to be very, very, you know, challenging at this point. So yeah, we want to be aware of this stuff. Mercury and Leo, aside of that, you know, aside from the opposition, can be, Mercury is about the mind, communication, how we process information, how we share information, how we just learn and stuff like that, transportation as well. Mercury and Leo can be, you know, express a very bold, feisty kind of energy. It's in a fixed sign, so Mercury and Leo, if you have any of these placements, or Mercury in any of the fixed signs, can be very stubborn. That's Taurus, Leo, Scorpio, or Aquarius. It's a very fixated, you know, contained kind of energy. That's what fixed energies do. They stay inconsistent, they stay solid, you know, in form and stuff like that. So Mercury Leo can be very loud and proud, saying it from your chest, prideful, something like, you know, stuff like that. It can be also like a performer. Like Leo's kind of like the performer, and like Aquarius is like the audience and stuff like that. So coming up to this Mercury opposite Pluto transit, you're gonna have some feedback that probably will piss you off, or try to help you at least improve your skills of what you're communicating or what you're thinking of, stuff like that. It's, you know, there could be manipulation, power struggles, fear, as these transits basically come across from Pluto. So we want to be aware of that. I think around the same time, yes, Venus is forming a trine to Saturn over here, which is very nice. So Venus in Cancer, you know, sweet, very just like home loving, has a big heart. Venus in Cancer has a big heart. It just wants to be nurtured. It wants to feel safe. It wants to feel protected. And having this trine to Saturn is really like forming, giving us more of an emotional kind of like a emotional commitment to how we can become more feel safer and stuff like that, like feel nurtured. Saturn is about, authority figures, limitations and restrictions, maturity and stuff like that. And it's feeling, it's just a very wet, emotional, like it's a very feeling, type of energy. So yeah, this could be, this could create better commitments, better connections to relationships, your long-term goals, what you desire, what you want to attract and stuff like that. So it could be good for relationships, really binding the two energies together, planet of love, and mixing it with the planet of like long-term goals and stuff like that. So very interesting. After that, we're basically coming up to the new moon in Cancer, which happens on the 5th. I'll try to just go as quick as I can through this video because I know my videos have been very long lately, so let's just see what we can do here. I want to at least improve on that too. New moon in Cancer at 14 degrees of Cancer. So if you have any placements around 14 of Cancer or any of the cardinal signs, Libra, Capricorn, Aries, you will be challenged by this. But if you have like other water placements, this could feel good for you. Any earth placements could also feel good as well. It's really interesting, this new moon, it's a very, very sweet new moon. Mercury's coming off of that opposition of Pluto, so it's kind of like getting away from that, loosening up. Venus is still kind of in a trine with Saturn and going on to trining Neptune, which is very sweet, unconditional, very nice and sweet love. The new moon happens right here. It's basically coming into a sextile with Mars as well, and Uranus, as well as Mars making a sextile to Saturn, which is a very, very nice aspect. Like, this new moon is just really nice, guys. Enjoy it while it lasts. Yes, there's some, bumps to, Pluto this month, but aside from all that, like, look, this new moon, if you really want to set intentions and stuff like that, talk about like manifesting, or the spiritual world will always say that new moon, start something new, blah 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 blah. Like, this will be a really good time to like initiate new things and things that have to do with like Cancer, which is like, here, let me get my notes here. Very emotional, very just like feeling protected. You're gonna, it'll be a good opportunity to initiate more just protection for yourself in general, feeling safe, feeling sympathetic, dependent on what you need, what's necessary, to kind of like keep you safe and sound, basically. Just like so that's kind of what this new moon is all about, and it's really nice. I really love this new moon for this month. So yeah, and I basically kind of brought the whole Mars sextile Saturn up, and that's a really interesting aspect. You have the two malefics working in good hands to each other. So if you don't know what the term malefic is basically a more negative or challenging kind of energy as well. You have the two benefics, which is Venus and Jupiter, which bring good things, or at least more enjoyable things, even if it isn't challenging. But Saturn and Mars can be more of them, the challenging as planets to deal with. But right now they are working in good hand. They are giving us an opportunity to really create more stability through having focusing on faith, or just like focusing on like spiritual things that can really like nurture our direction, or just bring more stability or security in the direction we want to head into. And it's really nice. It really kind of gives us a little stepping, leveling up, like boosting in our confidence, or boosting in our direction, because Mars in Taurus is still not really functioning as the best. It's in the sign of Taurus, which is a Venus ruled sign. So it's in detriment, as we say. But Mars in Taurus has been kind of finding this consistent direction to keep its energy leveled, not using too much energy or not using a little less. You're just kind of finding enough energy to keep your momentum going. That's kind of Mars in Taurus, and it really, really helps out in the direction we are basically trying to plan for, because Mars is about short-term goals, and Mars and Saturn is about long-term goals. So this is really helping out into any plans you wanted to set into action at this point, or just anything that you want to bring more stability, head into the direction that will bring more stability and security for you. So that's kind of like this. And Saturn and Pisces, you have to be more disciplined in creating these goals. How the internal world, how can you internalize this energy into doing things that feel good, that help out your direction and stuff like that. I can go on and on, but as this is kind of going on, we're going to the second week of July, and hold on, let me get to, I'm on hours. Venus is starting to sextile Uranus at this point. And that's a really, exciting transit as well. It's another opportunity. It's a sextile. It's a little helping hand. Venus-Uranus transits are really all about kind of trying something new. Venus is about love, relationships, what we value, what's enjoyable, fun stuff. Uranus is about unpredictable stuff, chaos, getting outside the box of your normal kind of energy. Really shaking things up and stuff like that. So it's kind of giving us a little hand. And Venus is in Cancer, Uranus is in Taurus. Uranus is actually being, it's being connected to the ruler, Venus. Ugh, I can't spit that out. So Uranus is connecting with its ruler, Venus, and it's kind of really, Venus is giving a more softer, kind of emotional, just type of vibes to help Uranus's, kind of shake up in the sign of Taurus. This could bring more stability. This could bring better connections in your relationships, how you express your love and stuff like that, or what's fun. Trying something new is really the general vibe of that. As well as that, during that process, Mercury is coming into a sextile with Jupiter in Gemini. So Mercury's in Leo, Jupiter's in Gemini. Jupiter is being contacted to its ruler, which is Mercury, like Uranus was being contacted by its ruler, Venus. So it's kind of the same vibe happening here. Mercury sextile Jupiter, another opportunity. It's another boost. It's another good, harmonious, connection. Mercury's in Leo. It's kind of being loud and proud. Being very prideful. Kind of just, it has a very passionate kind of outlook, into its expressions and stuff like that. And Jupiter in Gemini, Jupiter's in detriment. Jupiter's in a sign that's not really comfortable. It's trying to use Mercury tools to bring more, optimism, faith, and wisdom through ideas and communication, and just anything. It's focusing on multiple things, but it's focusing on it has to focus on the details, the little things. Jupiter is a expansive kind of energy, focusing on the big picture, but when it's in a Mercury ruled sign, it really has to condense all of this abundance into small little gestures. Very interesting kind of transit. We have this for the next year, but just a little connection, with Mercury and Jupiter. It's just boosting more wisdom, more information. This could be a good time to either travel or just share ideas with new people. Maybe bringing new people into your connections or friendships, or meeting new people and stuff like that. It could really bring a lot of ideas and attention to your way, I think. That's how I see it. And then the sun basically is coming into a trine with Saturn at this point. Just really just enhancing this emotional you know, maturity to, you know, what we are basically, you know, what this is providing for us. You know, focusing on our long-term goals and stuff like that, you know, trying to find, you know, secure safety through these long-term investments or just plans or goals that we have, you know, during any of these transits. But it's a very, like, yeah, you know, and working with authority figures during this point will be very beneficial. It'll be kind of easier to work aside, so you can kind of like combine both of your energies into, you know, providing a better structure or better system to run by, or, you know, this, and like if it's including like a job or anything you're trying to work towards or whatever. So yeah. And then Venus is basically coming into a trine with Neptune, bringing more of this unconditional type of love. You know, it's a very emotional, sensitive, you know, enjoyable kind of vibe to it. This will really like help out when it comes to, like, you know, what we enjoy. If you're with a partner or with other people that you really love, this could also bring you very closer together. Just kind of help out. Yeah, it's a very just emotional, sweet, sensitive. It's just like, you know, it really warms your heart, basically. That's kind of like the whole vibe of Venus trining Neptune. So Neptune just increases that, you know, that energy, that Venusian energy that she is providing, especially when they're in water signs. So very deep love as well. And then she'll go into Leo, and she'll go opposite Pluto, which won't really feel that good, but we got to get through it, don't we? Venus and Leo. You know, Venus and Leo has the desire to be seen. It's like she wants to be that performer when she's in Leo. And last time she was in Leo, she actually went retrograde, which was last year. And then she stayed in Leo for like 4 or 5 months or whatever. Did a total retrograde thing and stuff like that. So, you know, certain themes might come up if you remember what happened, especially if you know where the house that Leo rules in your chart. But yeah, Venus in Leo. Yeah, like I said, she's very passionate, very loving it. You know, it's a very passionate love. Very, as I like to call it, it's the hot girl summer type of vibe. So Venus and Leo people can be very loyal, committed to fixed signs, so it needs to, you know, stay in form. So it brings that, you know, commitment, that loyalty, especially in, you know, Leo. This is like a very, you know, royalty kind of vibe. You know, it's the lion. You know, it's like the king, and like Venus and Leo is like the queen kind of energy, like a queen type of energy. Anything. You know, if it likes to, people who have this placement really praise their, you know, partners, or kind of just like, you know, to a higher level of they, you know, how much they love them, admire them, and stuff like that. It can be very, you know, enthusiastic, charming as well. Yeah. Also, it could be very flirtatious as well, you know, stubborn as well. But yeah, coming back to the flirtatious, it can be a little freaky, maybe we'll say. So, which could be good or bad. Venus going opposite Pluto, though, that's gonna bring, that's gonna really, you know, focus on these like deep, subconscious like levels that we're going to go up, that are gonna challenge us into, you know, like I said, it's kind of like having a Mercury going opposite Pluto. You're gonna get feedback on certain things. So if you want to be the performer and do Leo, Venus and Leo things, or any Leo planets or whatever energy, the opposition is Aquarius, and you're going to get feedback either if it's good or bad. So it's either you take it and, you know, you really understand what you're trying to hear, or you just kind of like really change your vibe of what you are hearing to better yourself. There's going to be manipulation. Venus Pluto, very manipulation types of vibes, power struggles. Like I said, this could also create a lot of fear as well, so you want to watch out for that. So let's see. After that, Mars is coming into conjunction with Uranus, which is kind of like an explosive type of energy, but not really explosive. It could literally or figuratively. This could really shake your direction into, trying something new. Really just do things outside of your normal. Mars in Taurus likes to, like I said, likes to be consistent, stay in its lane, keeping itself leveled and stuff like that. Uranus is gonna shake things up and be like, all right, we're not gonna, stay in this this consistent, type of motion. We're gonna shake it up and, shift a little thing here and there. Shift your directions as well, shift your desires of what you want to attract or just head into, shake your ambitions up and stuff like that. So, you could also possibly have confrontations as well. Like I said, this could be literally or figuratively. Even on the global stance, we can see a lot of like explosive type of, conflicts. So you want to be careful with this, but you want to use this at least to your best advantage, just so you don't hurt yourself or do anything that is, gonna be a little chaotic. So little tip there. So let's see, next thing going on is we have a couple things happening. Basically it's around like the middle of the month. So we have Mercury entering its shadow, like its retrograde shadow period or territory, we'll say, around the 16th of July. So 21 degrees of Leo is where Mercury is gonna come back to when it stations direct in the next couple months. I think it might be in September, I think. And also Jupiter is entering its shadow territory as well. So Jupiter will basically come back to 11 degrees of Gemini, I believe in like February of 2025. It'll station direct at this point. So pay attention. This is like a double whammy, like there's two important things happening this day, which could really like have us like, hyper focusing on anything important, I should say, during this time, because we're going to come back towards, this point in time. Any important information or, decisions you are making at this point, you'll have to come back to this eventually. So pay attention to that. After that, the sun is coming into sextile with Uranus and close to Mars, basically. That's actually, I think, the following week. The sun sextile Uranus. Let me take a drink real quick. It's kind of following, the whole Venus sextile Uranus thing. The sun is focusing it's in Cancer. Focusing on security, safety, protection, and stuff like that. Feeling nurtured and stuff. Having an opportunity to shake things up with Uranus in Taurus. Shake things up and, create something that could feel more stable for you at this time. It's giving us that opportunity. This could either focus on your finances as well, really like boosting up your finances, or just anything to do with like your home life, resources as well. What else? Like just investments as well, but that's kind of the whole money thing. So it's a little helping hand, another opportunity happening to really try something new as well, like I said, with Venus sextile Uranus. So try something new for yourself that'll improve improve your finances, improve your home life, or just anything like that. Then the sun will end up coming into a trine with Neptune as well before it gets into Leo. Sun trine Neptune, that's really like heightening the whole, your intuition, heightening your emotions a little bit, getting a little bit deeper, this unconditional type of love. It's really just enhancing at this time. This could be focusing on your dreams and really understanding what kind of dreams you want and how to get there and stuff like that. This could really just help you, or guide you, I should say, to, you know, make those dreams more real and stuff like that, or working on those. You know, taking notes on like your dreams, fantasies, any illusions that, you know, pop up at this time. But it's in a good hand. You know, it's really enhancing. Like I said, it's a good energy to, you know, go after your dreams and stuff like that, because it could really bring more emotional support as well. So yeah, okay, and basically the 20th. That's the next, actually. Well, it's the 20th. July 20th, Mars enters Gemini. So Mars gets out of Taurus. It's out of detriment at this point. So Mars going into Gemini will give Mars a little bit more, you know, activity, more energy to really do things and get things going. And, you know, it's a very, you know, kind of easier way to maneuver things. Mars and Taurus was, you know, very consistent, very stubborn in its ways of doing things. Mars and Taurus will have this, like, you know, it'll be more adaptable. It's an immutable sign, which will create more, you know, flexibility in what we do, or whatever direction we want to go after. So that's kind of exciting. Mars in Gemini has the ambition to communicate. It also has the desire for learning, maybe even teaching as well. That kind of goes back to the communication and stuff, communicating. What I have written down is for Mars and Gemini is a key word that I've been hearing. It's jack of all trades. It's really good at that, like doing multiple things, you know, doing more than one thing at a time. It's kind of like multitasking as well. That's a very good way of doing it. Let's see what else. It's a good at problem solving. It also has the desire to share ideas, information, like I said a second ago. Whenever Mars is in an air sign, because Mars is about fights, conflicts, you know, separating stuff. When it's in an air sign, it can be we can really cut through our words of how we're expressing stuff. So if we're dealing with any confrontations, you might have people really, you know, basically being sharp with their tongues. So you want to watch out for, you know, that kind of energy as well. That's kind of like the negative side, as well as, you know, there's positive sides to it. But that's kind of one thing that I've been noticing about Mars in an air sign. You know, Mars in Gemini, can be, you know, very, like, you know, manipulative in a way, saying a lot of things, just trying to, like, you know, just watch out for that stuff. But yeah, overall, Mars is very intellectual. It likes that, has the desire for that intellectual energy. Again, and Mars and Gemini can be very mentally stimulated. I know some of these words, I'm like, I can't even spit it out. Mentally stimulated is is what we're gonna be, you know, very desired to, you know, go after. And eventually Mars is going to come into a conjunction with Jupiter. That's next month, but just kind of be aware of that. We are also coming up to the second full moon in Capricorn. Let me just get to the exact time. Okay, it's around 29 degrees of Capricorn. The sun's at 29 of Cancer. So in the beginning of Cancer season, we had a full moon at the beginning of Capricorn. I think it was like at 1 degree or something. So, and it's like we were being aware about something, you know, Capricorn things, you know, hard work, being mature, discipline, you know, stuff like that. We are getting towards like the second full moon, which is really, you know, bringing more of an awareness of what was basically shown to us, or what we were being aware of during the first full moon in Capricorn. So it's kind of cool. This is basically called a blue moon, and I mean, that just happens once in a blue moon. That's kind of the saying. So yeah, it's kind of interesting having two full moons or lunations in a sign. Excuse me. So yeah, let me just see. Hold on, let me I think it might have been okay. So other other keywords for like, this, full moon in Capricorn. The moon is actually in detriment at this point too in Capricorn, so it's very just like putting your emotions aside, and being kind of serious, being just rigid, cold, just, putting like, just, yeah, it could be like that. So it might feel uncomfortable in a way. I mean, it's a full moon, it's coming to light, it's coming to fullest, energy is high at this point, it's very close conjunct to Pluto at this point as well, so there could be, that Plutonian, the Pluto energy mixing into this full moon, because Pluto will end up coming back to Capricorn, moving into Capricorn, when it goes back into Capricorn retrograde, and it's in September. It's going to go at 29 degrees, so maybe this is a very important degree that we should, be aware of, during the end of July, because Pluto's going to end up going back at that degree, at 29 degrees of Capricorn in September, September, October, and like half of November. So it's going to be at that degree. So there's something at this point that's really like shining a light on this area. And Capricorn can also represent, governments, institutions, corporations, and stuff like that. So that stuff will be kind of like, out in the public. So, I mean, and Pluto is about like uncovering this stuff. So, yes, we are going through election year, and during that time, when Pluto moves back into Capricorn, we're going to be dealing with the election. It's going to be very like, just all over the place. So we can see some crazy stuff happening in the news as well. So we need to be aware of that as well. And then the sun moves into Leo the next day. You can see over here, the sun is in its home sign in Leo. I've heard in ancient astrology or like old times, the sun kind of rules Cancer and Leo. So I guess for the most part, most of summer, the sun is just like, shining it's all of its light. It's very warm, very just like, out there. It's just like, it's a time to like really, enjoy the sunlight and stuff like that. So yeah, but anyways, the sun moving into Leo, we have this kind of like 3 planets in Leo at this point, but the sun goes into Leo, it's in its home sign. It goes opposite Pluto that same day, around the same day basically, because they're both at 0 degrees of Aquarius and Leo. So power struggles, fear-based stuff, manipulation, subconscious impulses. It's going to be a, challenging thing, push-pull, kind of like tug-of-war kind of energy. Receiving feedback, like I said, it's kind of like the same thing. Coming off of that, full moon in Capricorn, the moon's going to be, going through Aquarius over Pluto. So, it's going to be really focusing on this Plutonian type of energy. Sorry about that, it's my laundry. Ignore that. Around like the 20th through like the 23rd, 4th, and stuff like that. So, that might be a very heated time in a way, so to say. Maybe not the bad, but like I said throughout this video, all these planets moving opposite Pluto, it's going to be challenges. So we'll have to just really channel this energy. And they're both in fixed signs, so nothing is moving, nothing is changing at this time. They are holding their energies down. So just kind of like I said, channel this energy. Take it one step at a time. Don't be so immovable, or just like really bringing, turning up the notch on level, like up to 1,000 or whatever at this time. So just kind of, understand that this energy is, happening. And one also, I should say, I didn't put this on my my list. Mars is coming into a trine to Pluto, so that's really helping everything out. Mars is coming into a sextile with the sun, but I didn't even think about this. Mars going into Gemini, making a trine to Pluto and Aquarius. That's gonna really intensify these like ambitions and desires to like, to do like, it's like bring more connections towards us, and we can like embrace this kind of like power that this energy is providing us. and it's really gonna like boost our confidence up and boost our levels up, and just really we're gonna feel good. You know, like I said, it's kind of like bringing connections together. Yeah, I feel like Mars is really helping out, you know, the sun with this opposition to Pluto. It's really just kind of helping, you know, bring more of a harmonious, just good, positive energy to, you know, maneuver through these oppositions. And eventually, like I said, the sun and Mars will make a sextile. That's just really going to increase, you know, more, you know, connections, more, you know, playfulness and stuff like that. But before we get there, Mercury will enter Virgo by the 25th. So it's by the 25th. So let's go to that day and let's see if he goes into, there it is. Right here. Mercury's in Virgo now. So Mercury's in its home sign. The sun's in its home sign. Like, that's good on top of that so far. But Mercury's slowing down at this point. He's really kind of like coming to, you know, he's hitting the brakes. You know, he's like, you know what? Okay, you know, we're going to be dealing with this Mercury retrograde at this point. So we want to, you know, pay attention of what information's going on at this point, whatever we are whatever information or things that we are processing, learning, all that stuff during this Mercury pre-shadow will be very important, because we're going to have to go back over these plans, revise them, you know, do all that stuff, redo, rethink, before we can move forward. And yes, Mercury will station retrograde in Virgo, then it'll go back into Leo and go all the way back to, I think, like 21 degrees, I said. So if you have any placements around this, like in between the early degrees of Virgo, late degrees of Leo, that's where Mercury's going to be traveling back over a few times. So it could be very challenging, or it could be helpful for you. But Mercury retrogrades, miscommunications, you know, glitches with technology, things not working out, you know, when it comes to like traveling and stuff like that. So delays. Just think about that. But Mercury in Virgo, you know, Mercury's operating in its home sign. It's very, you know, detail oriented. It can very, like, you know, it can focus on these details. It can focus on, you know, serving, you know, stuff or whatever, serving others, serving like itself. It's in a good placement. So let's see, what else can I say about that. Mercury in Virgo, you know, it's a very good communication energy. Like I said, the communication will be kind of, you know, delayed, but I feel like we'll be able to at least enjoy, while Mercury is direct, this, you know, Mercury operating at its best. Because at least, I mean, some astrologers also say Virgo is Mercury's exaltation sign. So it's exalted in the sign of Virgo, which increases this mercurial type of energy. So, but yeah, you know, Virgo is all about like the details, serving others, you know, focusing on, you know, it's a mutable sign, so it's very adaptable, flexible, but it's kind of focusing on being grounded, you know, just focusing on the mundane as well. It's a Virgo keyword and stuff like that. So, but yeah, and then like I said, after that, the sun's basically making sextile to Mars. That's just gonna, you know, bring more energetic kind of like we're gonna feel more energetic. It's giving us an opportunity to do that, be more playful, inherent more of a competitiveness and stuff like that. This can make us very dedicated or devoted into, you know, doing, you know, things in a big way, or a very, you know, adaptable way. Very dynamic, intellectual kind of energy, kind of mixing Leo and Gemini together. It's very dynamic and intellectual. So also just like kind of drawing new connections, new people into your life, giving you an increase in your self-confidence and stuff like that. And as well as that, Mercury's kind of forming a square. It's very loose because Mars is you know, a few degrees ahead, but Mercury's forming a square to Mars. That's basically how the month ends. And Mercury squaring Mars, you know, this is very rushed decision making. Like you're gonna be rushed to think, oh, I gotta do this, I gotta hurry up and do this and that, blah, 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 blah. Your mind is gonna be all over the place, literally, because Mercury's in Virgo, Mars is in a mercurial sign, which is Gemini. So this energy is going to be all over the place. But we don't want to make like decisions like right away, because Mercury is in its pre-shadow retrograde territory. So anything that comes up, yeah, it might force you to do something that you don't want to do, and you might think, oh, I gotta do this quick and fast, and this, you know, it might make you very aggressive, but you're also gonna kind of have a little bit of a sharpness towards this energy. And that kind of leads us into August as that energy begins, and then Mercury will station retrograde and then go back over that. So that's kind of like the overall view, overall summary of all the planets, or I should say just all the energies happening in the month of July. So let's jump in. Okay, let's just jump into the horoscopes. So let's see, I'm kind of trying to do this a little quicker than usual. Wait. Go back. Okay. Okay, and now we're gonna have to go back. Hold on. Okay, I guess we'll just start here. We'll start around the new moon in Cancer. Okay, so if you're in okay, let me just restart this. Okay, so before we get into the horoscopes, I would at least recommend you to listen to your rising sign. So, I mean, you can also listen to your sun sign as well. It's just not going to give you the full picture if you don't know your rising sign. So I would recommend to you to look up your time of birth, you know, the place and the year you were born, to give you your rising sign the minute, like to the minute. You have to know at least the time. Because timing is everything, and it'll give you more like a big picture of you know, what I will be talking to you and describing how these energies will affect each sign. If you are an Aries rising, all right, so the month basically starts off with Neptune stationing retrograde in your 12th house. So it's a very behind the scenes kind of energy. You don't really know what's going on in this area. It's a very, you know, isolated, kind of behind, like I said, behind the scenes theme. You know, this could, you know, but Neptune stationing retrograde going back over your in your 12th house, as well as Saturn. This is just going back over certain things to do with like subconscious dreams, really helping your mental health and stuff like that. That's going to be a very like important topic to, you know, I guess revise or go back over. You know, if you do take you know, notes or like in a journal or something like that, this could be a very beneficial time to, you know, really understand what your dreams are trying to tell you. And then, yeah, so that's going to be happening, as well as, you know, Saturn stationing retrograde in your 12th house, kind of making these themes more real. Mercury will enter your 5th whole sign house of Leo by the 2nd, and that's going to, like, really shift the whole vibe of, you know, of where your mind is, you know, how you're thinking. So Mercury moving into your 5th house of Leo, yes, this is going to be very beneficial because it's in a fire sign, making a trine to your 1st house of Aries. Mercury in Leo in the 5th house can be very playful. If you have kids, this can be a great time to spend time and, you know, play with your kids and, you know, enjoy things with your children. You could also, you know, this would be a great time to explore your pleasures. You know, work on any hobbies, or, you know, focus on your hobbies, and stuff like that. Passions, inspiration. You'll have all this inspirational kind of energy when it comes to like stuff like that. You might focus on your bucket list and what you want to do, stuff like that. Just kind of like, it could be a very romantic type of energy as well. So if you are thinking about, you know, dating and stuff like that, this could be a great time. You know, it's a very fertile time to be thinking about this stuff. All these planets going to your 5th house. It's going to really bring the fertility levels up a notch. So you eventually have this new moon happening in your 4th house of Cancer, helping you to reset any intentions to do with like your home life, your foundation, your roots, relatives, like close relatives, like family relatives and stuff like that. Your emotional side, your maternal instincts and stuff like that, your intuition. It's a very good time to listen to your intuition through this lunation, as this lunation progresses. But yeah, maybe starting new things in your home, your property, expanding, not really expanding, but just like renovating and stuff like that. You still have Venus here, so making your home enjoyable and stuff like that. Let's see. And then the next big thing, Venus will be going into Leo. This is gonna just, you know, change the whole vibe. You're gonna be, you know, having this desire. Well, let me just first say, Venus loves to be in the 1st house. She finds her joy in the 1st house. So this is increasing these, 5th house themes. When it, deals with love, romance, enjoying stuff, pleasures, entertainment, having fun and stuff like that. Like, this could really increase your, playfulness, even if for yourself or with children and stuff like that. So let's see. And then, all these planets will go opposite Pluto and stuff like that. So, this can really be like, your performer, getting feedback from your audience and stuff like that, or just other people, friends, blah, 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 if you're, performing anything, or just feedback in general. Let's see. The next big thing I would talk about is Mars conjunct Uranus in your 2nd house of Taurus. This is really just shaking things up when it comes to your own resources, your financial side. You could be increasing your income or doing something that'll shake things up in your, when it comes to like your the material world and stuff like that. Values, possessions, priorities, shaking that up. Okay, and then Mercury will enter shadow in your 5th house. So yes, Mercury is going to be going retrograde a little bit in your 6th house and your 5th house. So just kind of pay attention to the themes that have to do with like routine, your workspace, leases, your wellness, coworkers, hygiene, how you serve others, as well as 5th house themes, dating, entertainment, hobbies, your bucket list, children and stuff like that, your self-expressions, creativity. So that's going to be the whole shifting, going back over for you. As well as Jupiter going entering its shadow period, shadow territory in your 3rd house. So 3rd house, communication, travel, short-term travel, writing projects, your social life, close friends, close family members, stuff like that. You'll be going over, kind of expanding and going back, revising of these themes and stuff like that. And then we'll go to Mars in your moving into your 3rd house, as well as this full moon, 2nd full moon happening in your 10th house as well. So Mars moving in, getting out of your 2nd house, moving into your 3rd house, really just shifting your desires of, what do you want to accomplish. Mars in the 3rd house can really have the desire to, learn stuff, learn new stuff, educate yourself, teach, it's kind of like basically what I was explaining, Mars in, in Gemini. Have the desire for just like mental stimulation and stuff like that, mental connections and stuff. So you're going to be dealing with this for the next month as well. So full moon happening in your 10th house, 2nd full moon of the month. You're really being aware of themes or things in your career life, your public life, your reputation. You're seeing these things come to light. So maybe you've been kind of, trying to find something that will improve your work, home life and stuff like that. So yeah, you are being aware of these like responsibilities, the structures that you need in order to create a better, stable kind of environment. And then we get into Leo season. Sun moves into your fifth house. Sun moves into your fifth house of Leo, just increasing this like creative side. Children, stuff like that, playfulness, pleasures, entertainment, stuff like that for the next month. And then Mercury will enter your sixth house, like I mentioned a second ago. Hold on. Basically going into its home sign or its exalted sign of Virgo, sixth house, workspace, service, routine, stuff like that. So just pay attention to when Mercury goes retrograde and stuff like that, because that's going to be very important. I'm going to have to go back over that stuff. All right, let's go to Taurus. Oh, hold on. Got to go back to hours. Whoops, wrong thing. Wow, hold on. Okay. Now this takes a while for a minute. Okay. All right, Taurus rising. Let's see. So Neptune is stationing in your 11th house of, friends, community, earned, resources from your career, huge financial gains that you will probably have been working for, dreams, aspirations, opportunities, abundance, and stuff like that. It's going to be, showing you what illusions are real and what are not real. You also have Saturn here trying to make it more of your aspirations more real, going back over these things and stuff like that over the rest of the year and stuff like that. So your audience, like I said, you're going to be understanding these things to do with like I said, friends, communities, what's real, are these people good for me, are these people that I'm working for, large groups of people, how can we improve these things and stuff like that. Let's see. Okay, and then Mercury will enter your fourth house of Leo by the 2nd, and that just shifts the whole vibe. Mercury in your fourth house is really focusing on your home life, your maternal instincts, your intuition, stuff like that. So this could either be drama in your fourth house, that's kind of a Leo fourth house theme, or you're just really focusing on taking care of people in your home, taking care of family, spending time with family, trying to help them out and stuff like that. You're going to have feedback with this opposition to Pluto. 10th house, public life, public people out in the public, might go against what you are doing, maybe you're thinking, or when it comes to your work, home life, axis. Let's see. Then you have this new moon happening in your third house of Cancer. That's just kind of resetting the intentions when it comes to speaking, communicating, interests, mental connections, your social life, writing projects, educating yourself, learning, stuff like that. Traveling, short-term traveling and stuff like that. Gonna just bring more nurturing in this this area of life for you to feel more protected. Let's see what else. Okay, so the next thing is basically Venus going into your fourth house of Leo. And okay, so Venus going into your fourth house of Leo. Yeah, Venus is very, likes to show off in Leo and stuff like that. Venus and Leo in your fourth house, you'll probably be focusing on, renovating your home area, your property, where you live and stuff like that. It's a very enjoyable time to spend time at home, make your home more enjoyable at this point. It can be very just exciting, like sharing your love with your family members, sharing love or just anything with people that you live with and stuff like that. It can be a very easy kind of energy, but even though these planets are forming a square to your first house of Taurus, it could bring, like I said, challenges or drama in your home life, so just kind of be aware of that. Then you have Mars and coming into a conjunction with Uranus in your first house. This is going to just really shake things up of how you impress others, what you do for your body, maybe just exercising or something, or just really just trying something out to make your personality something, you know, like kind of like just shaking your personality up, you know, trying new things. I don't know, trying a direction that will help you, like, kind of change your outlook or whatever. I know your approach to life. I know Tauruses don't like change, but this is an opportunity to say, hey, you know, maybe we should change things up and how we present ourselves and stuff like that. It's just kind of like a shaking up. It's going to shake you up no matter what. Mercury will then enter its shadow phase, as well as Jupiter entering its pre-shadow phase around the middle of the month, 15th, 16th, 17th. So pay attention to what themes comes up, or what you hear when it comes to, you know, fourth house themes, home, family, foundation, your intuition, stuff like that, as well as Jupiter in your second house, your resources, personal income, savings, you know, priorities, possessions, values. You're going to come back over these themes. So yeah. Okay. Next thing happening is Mars is going into your second house. So Mars, you know, the planet of action, desire, you know, aggressive conflicts, is moving into your second house of, you know, financial stuff, money. You're probably gonna want to, you know, increase your finances by doing more, you know, spending more time at work, doing multiple things to improve your, just to do what you are needed in order to support yourself. So that's going to be the whole theme at that time. You have a full moon, second full moon happening in your, wait, hold on. Okay, right here. Okay, second full moon happening in your ninth house of Capricorn. So think about the last full moon that happened in Capricorn a month ago. This is just themes that are reappearing, you know, when it comes to the philosophy, truths, the higher mind, long distance travel, principles, legal matters, stuff like that. So it's just reappearing, it's finalizing all this stuff. So, okay. And then the sun goes into your fourth house, really focusing on your subterranean level, your most hidden lower part of your chart. So yeah, spending time at home, spending time with family, you know, doing things around the home, stuff like that. So like I said, you might have challenges. Square is your first house, but you're gonna have to like deal with any of these challenges in order to, you know, in order to just, you know, do your daily stuff and stuff like that. So, so yeah, Sun in Leo in your fourth house, your intuition is gonna be very high end. You're gonna have to listen to your intuition, or, you know, to really, you know, guide your way through this transit as well. And then Mercury will enter your fifth house, Virgo, which is really starting up the whole Mercury retrograde theme. So, you know, fifth house themes, children, self-expressions, playfulness, hobbies, entertainment, romance, dating, stuff like that. You're going to be rethinking all that stuff. And then going back, when Mercury goes back into your Leo fourth house, things to do with family, home life, foundation, going to be revised and stuff like that. So, all right, going to the next sign. Geminis. Okay. All right, Gemini. So first thing that happens is Neptune as well as Saturn is stationing in your 10th whole sign house of Pisces. So things to do with like your career, your reputation, what you're obligated to do in the world, how people see you in your public life. It's getting revised. You know, you're rethinking these plans, these long-term goals. You're seeing the illusions that have been presented to you since Neptune has been direct in your 10th house of Pisces. You're gonna really like start to understand like what's real and what's not good for you, you know, in your public, in your career. You know, Saturn's in your 10th house, really hovering over this, you know, it's in the superior position towards your first house of Gemini. It's probably been very challenging for all the mutable signs, you know, especially for you Geminis. You know, you're really taking on a higher, I guess you could say a hierarchy type of position. Is that the right word? Or just authoritarian, you know, position at work or whatever. You're really going to have to guide yourself, you know, follow these, you know, your intuition as well. You know, kind of just work things out to see what's good for you and what's not good for you. Get rid of you know, any junk that you don't need, to really improve your career and public life, your reputation. You know, what you're obligated, and maybe learning new skills and stuff like that. So this is really focusing on your profession at this point. Then Mercury will enter your third house of Leo on the 2nd. So this is really shifting the whole vibe. This could flow easier for you because it's making a sextile 60-degree angle to your Gemini placements, really just enhancing this, you know, stimulation or just mental connections and stuff like that. You might be spending time or communicating with siblings, relatives, neighbors, people in your environment more often. You know, taking short-term trips and stuff like that. Yeah, so that's kind of the whole vibe there. And then you have this new moon happening in your second house of Cancer. This is really just setting, resetting the intentions to focus on more of a protection when it comes to, you know, what you value, what your priorities are really focused on, like your values and stuff like that, possessions and stuff like that. You're just kind of, this is just a you know, a new cycle to increase or improve or feel more safe and secure when it comes to your finances or how you are supporting yourself. So next big thing is Venus is going into your third house of Leo. Yes, they're going to be going opposite Pluto in your 9th house. So yes, you're going to have feedback when it comes to, you know, philosophies, higher mind, maybe religion, you know, far distant travel, foreign stuff and whatever. But that's just the feedback they might be challenged by. Venus in your, you know, third house is really going to attract more, you know, it's in Leo. It's very, you know, showing off kind of performer, you know, type of vibe. You're going to be, you know, attracting more mental connections or just stuff that's really just like enjoyable and stuff. So, very like loud and proud, very confident, very just, you know, flirtatious when it comes to certain, just really enjoying certain things in your immediate environment, stuff like that. So yeah. Let's see, Mars and Uranus coming together in your 12th house of Taurus. That's really shaking things up when it comes to, you know, what's going on behind the scenes. Maybe you have this like subconscious impulse to do something to shake things up, and it's really just like making you come out of your comfort zone, or just something that you just do something unconsciously, and it really either liberates you or creates a little chaos, and it's probably hard to handle. So it could go either way. So just be careful of what you do, because the 12th house, like I said, is about the subconscious. It can be very, having Mars there, it's a very subconscious impulse kind of, energy. But yeah, this could also liberate you. You know, following any spiritual guides or spiritual things could help you as well. Help to shake up your, stuff that's going on behind the scenes. And then Mercury will end up going into its shadow, pre-shadow territory, as well as Jupiter going into its pre-shadow territory as well. Pay attention to the themes that come up when it comes to communication, like your rational mind, short-term travel, your social life, interacting with people, interest, mental connection, stimulation, like your perception and stuff like that, your immediate environment. You're going to be rethinking about these things as we get to next month. And then Jupiter going into its pre-shadow retrograde, that's just really, putting the focus on, kind of like Jupiter in your first house is expanding, your personality. But you're going to be coming back to these things, kind of trying two different things, trying new things that will bring more wisdom, optimistic kind of impressions and stuff like that to other people, like wisdom. But yeah, you'll learn about that as Jupiter transits your first house. Next thing happening is Mars is going into your first house And that's really shifting the whole vibe. You're going to have a lot more energy to, go after, certain approaches, interactions and stuff like that. This can make you very combative when it comes to who you're interacting with and stuff like that. And then you also have a full moon, your second full moon happening in your 8th house of Capricorn, really just, coming to light when it comes to 8th house themes, death related issues, transformation, intimacy, deepening your connections and stuff with relationships, psychology, taxes, debts, paying off this stuff, loans and stuff. So refinances, soul contracts, all that stuff is coming to light at this time, making you aware of this. So, okay, let's see where we at. And then the sun will enter Leo, which is your 3rd house, really shifting the vibe here, just putting more of a focus on like these themes that I've been basically repeating myself on. Siblings, short-term travel, education, communication, social media, your commune, relatives, writing, rituals, all that stuff. So mental connections, it's going to be really focused on that. Let's see what else. And then Mercury will enter your 4th house, where Mercury will station direct, which is your ruler, I should say. Your ruler will be entering your 4th house, bringing the focus on your home life, your maternal instincts, your intuition, taking care of families and stuff like that, focusing on families. And then it's going to go retrograde in August, going back over, rethinking certain things when it comes to, how you use your intuition to guide you, how you deal with like family stuff, like stuff to do with your foundation, maybe trying to figure out how to, make your foundation more solid and stuff like that. So, and yeah, that's kind of it. And basically for you, Gemini. So yeah, all right, let's go to the next sign, which is Cancers. Doing pretty good on timing, which is really good. Okay, Cancers. Let's see. It's your season. Happy birthday if you're celebrating your birthday this month. Happy solar return, or the sun's going to be traveling over your ascendant or any planets in the sign of Cancer, your 1st house. Really just renovating, or is it renovating or rejuvenating? I think it's rejuvenating, just giving you all this energy. It's a burst of new life, and a new cycle has basically started over this last month, since all these planets have been in your 1st house of Cancer. Let's see. So first thing happening is Neptune is stationing retrograde in your 9th house. So Neptune retrograde, you're in your 9th house. This is just really just heightening the energies to deal with like philosophy, higher learning, teaching, publishing, foreign travels, foreign cultures, long-term travels, legal matters, religion, stuff like that. So Saturn's here, just stationed retrograde too, so these 2 planets are really just trying to improve this area of life for you, even if you had restrictions, excuse me, when it comes to traveling or just learning and stuff like that, expanding your horizons and mind. So just really pay attention of what's going on when it comes to your just higher learning and stuff like that. Mercury will enter your 2nd house of Leo on the 2nd, shifting your mental status into focusing on what your priorities, your financial side, just possessions and stuff like that. So you're going to be thinking about this, thinking about how you can support yourself better with, by working more hours, by earning more, building your savings and stuff like that. You're going to be thinking about all this stuff. Okay, then you have a new moon happening in your 1st house, just reinventing this kind of, like I said, rejuvenating your personality a bit. This is just giving you an opportunity to, just start something new as well. So, 1st house, identity, personality, your body, how you impress others, approach to life and stuff like that, how you initiate your outlook on life and stuff like that. So then Venus will enter your 2nd house of Leo. These planets going into Leo will go opposite Pluto, so expect some feedback or power struggles when it comes to, you know, your finances and other people's finances and stuff like that. Maybe if you're trying to pay off some debt and you're having trouble with that, that could appear. Something to do with like intimacy with a partner, you know, just be aware of all that stuff. Venus and Leo, you know, it's very, you know, very showy office. It's very like I want to impress others and be, you know, the performer and be, you know, courageous and enthusiastic. But Venus going into your second house, one benefit for that is really like, you know, your values, your income, just your resources. You're going to be attracting more stuff, which is going to bring, you know, increase your chances of like earning more, you know, and stuff like that. It's going to be very, you know, enjoyable. Or Venus going into your second house is going to make you spend more because you're going to want more stuff. You're going to have the desire to spend money. So watch out for that. The next thing happening is Mars is coming into conjunction with Uranus in your 11th house, shaking things up when it comes to friendships, you know, doing stuff in your community, something to do with like your audience, people you're networking with, maybe people in your colleagues or something like that will help you kind of liberate these, I guess, desires or directions into doing, you know, doing new things, trying new things out when it comes to, you know, like taking more opportunities, you know, creating more abundance for your, you know, for your audience or for your just earned wealth that you've made in your career. But yeah, working in groups of people will liberate you. Just using social resources could help you out as well. Very exciting point. Time to enjoy that. And then Mercury and Jupiter will enter its pre-shadow retrograde territory. Mercury enters by it's like the middle of the month, 21 degrees. So really start to pay attention to what pops up towards the end of the month, as well as Jupiter. I mean, it's going to be for a while for Jupiter, but the next couple of months. But then Mercury will end up going retrograde in your third house, and then going back into your second house. So maybe adjusting things when it comes to like money, resources, you know, what your priorities, and trying to like adjust, like get things in order maybe, or consistent on certain things or whatever when it comes to what you value and money and thing. So yeah, and then like I said, Jupiter will enter its pre-shadow retrograde in your 12th house. A lot of things happening behind the scenes. You can't really know what's going on. You're not really aware of it and stuff like that. But yeah, a lot of stuff is happening. And then Mars will enter your 12th house of Gemini, just really shifting the whole vibe. A lot of things you're going to have the desire to do in the backdrop, in the background, that nobody sees and stuff like that. Mars moving into the 12th can give you more of a subconscious impulse to do things, so you want to be careful as well as that. And then we have the full moon happening in your 7th house. This is the second full moon happening in your relationship house. Being aware of something, you know, when it comes to relationships and stuff like that. So just want to, you know, look back on the last full moon to really get more of, you know, keywords of what popped up then. Relationships, business contracts, supporting other people, committing to other people, open enemies, you know, stuff like that, agreements, you know, it's a you versus other people. That's a balance. Okay, then we get into Leo season. Whoops. Excuse me. Sun moves into your second house. This focus continues, you know, to do with your finances, your income, savings, your work ethics, you know, trying to support yourself by doing these, focusing on your priorities and stuff like that over this next month. Then Mercury will enter Virgo by the 25th of the month, entering your third whole sign house. Third house, communication, siblings, short-term travel, immediate environment, mental connections, stuff like that. You're going to be revising, rethinking these things, and then as well as you're going back to your finances and stuff like that. So that's kind of how the month is played out for you Cancers. All right, Leos. All these things happening in your, you know, 12th house, you know, the cycles are ending at this point, so You know, this is the time when everything's going to start to move in your first house of Leo, to revamp, to give you all the energy that you have been needing. It's your time. Eventually, my voice is cracked. It's your time to shine towards the end of the month. So Neptune will station retrograde in your 8th house. You know, Neptune in your 8th house is like really bringing a lot of illusions when it comes to, you know, shared resources, debts, loans, intimacy, focusing on darker things, secrets, you know, to do with other people, and like refinances and stuff, death-related issues and transformation, all these things. Saturn's been here, you know, it's just station retrograde as well. So these two are really trying to improve this area of life for you. Then Mercury will enter your first house. Like I mentioned, these planets are going to start to move into your first house and give you all the energy. Mercury moving into your first house, you know, you're really, you know, saying it like it is, you know, being loud and proud. It's going to go opposite Pluto in your 7th house. You're going to get some feedback when it comes to relationships, maybe conflicts and fear-based things when it comes to what you are trying to do and what other people are trying to do, or just feedback that just really challenges you in any way possible. New moon, you have a new moon happening in your 12th house of Cancer. You know, this is the last time these planets are going to be in your 12th house before everything starts to get into your first house. So any themes that, you know, to do with like, you know, spirituality, mental health, isolation, all this stuff, you know, you're really setting those intentions into, you know, a new cycle, and, you know, that can improve stuff that's going on in the backdrop, but you can't see. Next big thing is Venus will enter your first house, you know, giving you more of attractive kind of vibe, you know. Venus in Leo is very, you know, hot, sexy kind of vibe. So this could really, you know, make you look a little, you know, dazzling, you know, sparkly and stuff like that, you know, in a way, if you're trying to like create your like a new look for yourself, your personality and stuff like that, you're going to be like attracting more, you know, people with how you impress them. You know, you're going to be very confident, very enthusiastic, bold. So yeah, opposite to Pluto, other people, is going to be maybe manipulation, feedback. So just be aware of, even if you want to be loud and proud, you're going to get some feedback. Mars-Uranus conjunction happening in your 10th house is really shaking up your career life, your public life, giving you just any opportunity to really feel liberated, or shake things up in your reputation, or just what you are trying to achieve in your public life and stuff like that. This can be very exciting if you are trying to, you know, even if you don't like the, you know, you're staying consistent, you're a fixed sign. This could, you know, square you, but it could really improve anything that could help you in your career, something like that. Okay, Mercury is moving into its shadow period, as well as Jupiter moving into its shadow period as well. Just pay attention to what comes up, what you hear during this time. You're going to be going back over, rethinking these things to do with yourself, your impressions with others and stuff like that. And then Mercury will go into your 2nd house towards the end of the month, and then station retrograde and stuff like that. So, and then Jupiter, you know, these opportunities, these friendships, stuff to do with communities, working in large groups of people and stuff like that. It's going to be, you know, going back, revising and stuff like that. So, Mars will enter your 11th house of oh wait, hold on. Okay, so I have this, and then the full moon happening in Capricorn as well. So Mars moving into your 11th house is really gonna increase your, you know, desire, or, you know, direction into, you know, doing things with other people, you know, maybe just taking on more opportunities, you know, taking all these you know, benefits when it comes to like earning more finances in your career, or benefits or whatever and stuff like that. You know, using more social resources into improving just your daily life and stuff like that, working with colleagues, friends, stuff like that. Full moon, second full moon happening in Capricorn is, oh man, hold on. Okay, let's just pretend that it's in Capricorn. Second full moon in Capricorn. Being aware of things to do with like how you serve people, your workspace, health concerned issues, injuries, and stuff like that. You're really being aware of what you need to help your body work properly in order for you to do what you are needed to do. And then we go into Leo season, and then boom, your ruler is in your first house, shining a light, improving your vitality and stuff like that. So yeah, this is going to be a great time to really just celebrate. If you are celebrating your birthday, the sun's going to, all these planets moving into Leo. If you have any placements or points in Leo, it's really just going to, give you all these good vibes and positive energies and stuff like that to increase your livelihood. The fire is back. You are just shining your light. You are shining like there's no tomorrow and stuff like that, Leo. So enjoy that. Mercury will enter its sign of Virgo into your second house, where it will station retrograde. And then, so Mercury moving into your second house, you're really going to be focusing on, your finances, priorities, values, I just said that, possessions and stuff like that. Improving your savings and stuff like that. Just really focusing on just how to support yourself better. And then you will end up going back over these ideas and stuff like that that can improve eventually over time. And that's about it. So let's move on to Virgos. Okay, Virgos. So Neptune stations retrograde in your 7th house of Pisces, as well as Saturn stationing retrograde. So these energies are just trying to improve these relationships, these connections you have with other people, these business contracts, partnerships, supporting others, or how you need to support others and stuff like that, or what others can do for you. But these planets are focusing on other people. So yeah, any illusions, fantasies, dreams you have with other people, this is going to be a time to go back over it and see what is healthy for you and what is not healthy for you. That's kind of like what Saturn is trying to do as well for you as well. So, and then Mercury will enter your 12th house of Leo. This is kind of like behind the scenes, not really seeing what's going on. Mercury in your 12th house is really focusing on like spirituality stuff, your mental health, isolation, addictions, alienation, stuff like that. So a lot of stuff is really cooking up in the backdrop of your mind or your subconscious and stuff like that. Really pay attention to your dreams as well. Take note of it if you like to do that. You have a new moon happening in your 11th house of Cancer. Just setting intentions when it comes to working with other people, friendships, earned huge financial gains you might be getting, or really setting the intentions to earn more financial gains while working with other people, doing like community services, donations, and stuff like that. It could really help out. Let's see. Then Venus will enter your 12th house of Leo. All these planets are going to be going into your 12th house eventually this month. It's really just in the backdrop. Things are really kind of cooking up. You're not really seeing what's going on yet. They will eventually get into your first house. Mercury enters your first house by the end of this month, your ruler. So that kind of helps out a bit, but Mercury will end up going retrograde. So, but eventually all these planets will give you all the energy and start these new cycles up to improve, your first house, your any Virgo placement you have. But Venus in your 12th house. Let me get a drink real quick. Either you could be, getting a little bit more secretive, or, keeping your relationships a little bit more hidden, or just kind of just like having this unconditional type of love that you could be spreading to others or expressing how you love. But you want to watch out for just anything, any secrets or anything that happens behind the scenes, because it can, just to be aware of it. They will be going opposite Pluto, so you will have some feedback when it comes to the way you work, service, and stuff like that, or physical health and mental health is going to be at a tug of war, so you're going to have to find something to channel these energies as well, to create some balance. Mars and Uranus will be coming together in your 9th house of Taurus. Excuse me. This is going to be just liberating your, your direction to either travel more or to just, do things outside outside the normal, what normally you don't do. Maybe learn, foreign things, teach stuff, publishing, all this kind of stuff could really help you liberate yourself as well. And then Mercury will enter its shadow period around like towards the the middle of the month, and then Jupiter will enter its pre-shadow retrograde territory as well. So Mercury going into its pre-shadow retrograde at this point territory. Pay attention of what's going on behind the scenes, what you're cooking up in the back of your mind, because we're gonna come back over this to redo any things that you have missed, or just relearn, or just try new things over more than once and stuff like that. Jupiter going to its shadow period as well. In your 10th house, big things are coming up in this point of view for your area of life for your Virgo. So even if it's squaring your first house, Virgo, you are probably going to receive more benefits in your career or public life. Mars will eventually go into your 10th house of Gemini, but then we also have this second full moon happening in your 5th house of Capricorn. So let's talk about this real quick before we get to Mars and Gemini. So full moon happening, think of the first full moon and the themes that came up when it comes to your self-creative side, children, hobbies, entertainment, stuff like that. So this is just really finalizing all these opportunities or things that have been in play over the last month. Mars going into your 10th house is just really just going to increase your desires, your ambitions to improve your reputation, or just really you're going to want to achieve more stuff in your career at this point. And then we get into Leo season, and then the sun goes into your 12th house. We're really just, finalizing this whole cycle that's been going on for the last year. Like I said, a lot of things cooking up in the back of your mind, so you can't really, you don't really know what's going on, but something's going on. But following any spiritual guides will really help you out here. And then Mercury, your ruler, will go into your 1st house by the 25th, but it won't stay here that long, maybe for a week or two, because it's been slowing down and it'll go retrograde. So you're going to have to maybe rethink things to do with how you impress others, your approach to life, your identity, something to do with your body and stuff like that. So that's kind of how the month plays out for you, Virgos. Okay, Libras. Okay, so everything is kind of still in your 10th house, your career life, your public life, I should say. Neptune will station retrograde in your 6th house of Pisces, as well as Saturn. So, 6th house is service, the way you work, health concerns, injuries, physical injuries, like physical problems or whatever, coworkers, wellness, supplements, hygiene, fitness training, stuff like that. So you're gonna have to kind of improve these themes as these planets go back over this area of life for you, and they will improve eventually, but you have to kind of see what works for you, see what doesn't work for you, that kind of stuff. Understand the illusions and dreams and delusions or whatever that's been presented to you in this area of life, because Saturn is trying to make them more real and show you your limits and stuff like that. Mercury enters your 11th house, really shifting the vibe. You're focusing on friendships, communities, working in large groups of people, having a lot of ideas, sharing ideas with all these people and stuff like that. So, a lot of big things, a lot of maybe focusing on new opportunities, focusing on how you can improve your aspirations, and follow same goals, same dreams as other people, kind of work together and stuff like that. And then it'll go opposite Pluto and stuff like that in your fifth house and stuff. So you're gonna have feedback when it comes to just your self-expressions, children, when it comes to children and fertility and stuff like that, hobbies, bucket list items, stuff like that. Then you have a new moon happening in your 10th house, resetting the intentions when it comes to your career life, public life, your reputation and stuff like that. What you're responsible for. This is just really trying to create more protection and security in this area of life for you. And then Venus will enter your 11th house as well, go opposite Pluto. Venus in your 11th house is just really attracting more attracting more people to be around. Very exciting people, very energized, enthusiastic type of vibe. Expressing your love to friends as well. Really just, benefiting from any opportunities that come your way. And that's going to be very exciting. I mean, even with the sun going into Leo as well, it's going to really increase these opportunities for you. Mars-Uranus. Mars-Uranus. Voice keeps cracking. Mars comes into a conjunction with Uranus in your 8th house. So 8th house, is all about transformation, psychological connections, intimacy, secrets, the occult, refinances, stuff like that, taxes, loans, all that stuff. So this could either liberate you into paying off some debt, liberate you and your partner into doing new things, like trying new things out. I mean, even if it's like sex or something like that, it could be anything. Then Mercury and Jupiter will enter its shadow territory, pre-shadow territory. And so you want to pay attention to what comes up at this time, when it comes to friends, communities, colleagues, opportunities, benefits when it comes to your career and stuff like that. You're going to be coming back to this point to improve things that happen. And then Mars will enter Gemini as well. We have second full moon happening in your 4th house of Capricorn. So this could either be challenging, bring a lot of drama. Full moon's energy is high, so you're gonna have some drama with family stuff in the home. But you're gonna have to try to find some balance when it comes to your work, home life, and stuff like that. Mars entering Gemini Mars is going to just increase your ambition to travel, to learn more, teach more, just do things, learn more philosophies, learn about foreign cultures and stuff like that. It's going to be probably a little bit exciting for you guys. You're going to have the ambition to really just go and just, expand your horizons and stuff like that. Then the sun will enter Leo, and Leo season's here. So the sun entering your 11th house is just following Venus and Mercury as they've been traveling through this area of life for you. Let's see. So just focusing on opportunities, friendships, audience, colleagues, groups of people, networking, social resources, benefits that you can receive from these themes as well. So this is going to be the theme for you over the next month. And then Mercury will enter your 12th house of Virgo, but I won't stay here that long, but just really pay attention to what goes on. Mercury's entering an area of life where it's kind of in the backdrop or whatever. So a lot of things are going to be cooking up in the backdrop of your subconscious and stuff like that. So take notes if you are into that. Moving on. Scorpios. Okay. So first thing that happens is Neptune stationing retrograde in your 5th house, as well as Saturn stationing retrograde as well. So themes to do with your self-expression, children, hobbies, entertainment, what's fun, your bucket list and stuff like that. You're going to have to adjust or improve to understand what is working out for you and what isn't going to work out for you around these themes and stuff like that. Saturn in this area of life for you is really trying to show you your limitations and try to build a better structure or better way of understanding when it comes to entertainment, children, stuff like that. So whatever illusions and that have been presented to you, or you're going to be going back over to see if it's real or if it works for you or if it doesn't. Then you have a new moon happening in your, well, actually you have Mercury entering your 10th house of Leo before the new moon. Mercury entering your 10th house. You're really going to be focusing on achievements, long-term goals, kind of having like an authoritarian role here. And stuff like that, learning new skills, improving your, your career and stuff like that, what you're obligated to do. Going opposite Pluto in your 4th house, there's going to be some drama, stuff coming up to the surface and stuff like that when it comes to your home life and your work life and stuff like that. So take it easy, channel this energy as much as you can. You have a new moon happening in your 9th house of Cancer. Resetting the energies when it comes to foreign travels, foreign cultures, traveling, abroad, or just long distance travels, philosophies, education, higher education, stuff like that. It's just improving this stuff. It'll flow easier because it's a water sign for you, Scorpios. But yeah, this is just a new cycle happening for you. Venus will enter your 10th house, go opposite Pluto. So Venus in your 10th house, you're going to want more respect in your career, your public life. Being in Leo, you're going to be probably, it could bring challenges. It's a superior square over your 1st house, so that could really either it'll basically create enjoyment, or at least try to benefit you by creating more enjoyment in your public life or your career and stuff like that. Mars Uranus is cooking up in your 7th house, so these relationships, these business contracts, these partnerships can help you shake things up into the direction you are, I guess, having the desire to chase after when it comes to like relationships and stuff like that. So Mercury and Jupiter are moving into its pre-shadow retrograde territory, so very important key times, or areas of during this month towards the middle of the month to really pay attention to. We're going to go back over certain themes when it's to do with your careers, reputation, achievements, and stuff like that. And then Jupiter in your 8th house, intimacy, loans, paying off debt, inheritance and stuff like that, shared resources, intimacy. I know I said that, I think. And then, yeah, so next thing happening is Mars is going into your 8th house, as well as the second full moon happening in Capricorn. So Mars moving into your 8th house is really going to just give you, much deeper ambitions to, head into the direction, involving other people, like joining like joint ventures and stuff like that, or just doing things with other people, cutting off debt, because it's about, slicing and, getting rid of stuff. So this could help. So yeah, but you also want to look out for confrontations when it comes to deep, relationships and intimacy, because that's just Mars. This could give you the chance to have sex as well, and really have the ambition to do that. Then the full moon happening, coming to another culmination, your second full moon in Capricorn, your 3rd house, communication, short-term travel, your social life, writing, interactions, mental stimulations, mental connections, and what you're interested in. So yeah, this balance between long distance stuff versus immediate stuff. And then the sun will move into Leo, your 10th house, really just putting the spotlight onto your career life, your public life, and stuff like that. So just continuing this theme, improving your career life. Mercury will enter your 11th house of Virgo, and it won't stay here that long, but you're gonna have to start really paying attention of what you hear at this point, what you're thinking of, because you might have to go back and change your ideas and change your plans when it comes to 11th house themes, opportunities, connecting with friends, networking, huge financial gains, benefits from your career and stuff like that. So pay attention. Moving on. Okay, Neptune is stationing in your 4th house for you Sagittarius risings. Having Neptune and Saturn station retrograde in your 4th house is really just putting the focus on your foundation, trying to improve your living situation. Any illusions or things that you are limited with, you will have to at least adjust or build certain things to improve basically your home life. If this is to do with family, you might have to improve your family connections, or just really pay attention to your intuition, because that's really gonna help guide you during this time for you Sag risings. Let's see. Yeah, I mean, Saturn here is already trying to build a better foundation, a solid foundation for you. But yeah, Neptune is just really trying to just increase your intuition, or increase these dreams that you have, that you want to, go after in the home life. Maybe you've been maybe doing a lot of things in the home since Neptune has been in here for a very long time, but just another retrograde. So yeah. Next thing happening is Mercury entering your 9th house for you Sag risings, and this is going to be where the fire starts to improve, and you're going to start to feel that fire again, which is a very good thing. I'm a Sag rising, so I'm loving it, but I know Mercury's going to go retrograde later on, but yeah, the fire comes back, the inspiration comes back. Talk about in the 9th house. Long-term travels, publishing, speaking, teaching, like I said, being inspirational and stuff like that, learning foreign cultures and stuff like that, higher education. You're going to be thinking about all this stuff. It's really going to be expanding your horizon, expanding your mind. But the only problem is these planets are going to go opposite Pluto in your 3rd, so you're going to have maybe some feedback in your immediate environment. People are going to probably say what they want to say to really shake things up of what you are trying to cook up in your ideas and stuff like that. New moon happening in our 8th house, just kind of improving this area of life when it comes to shared resources, intimacy, like death-related issues, inheritance, soul contracts, refinances, and stuff like that. So should be very interesting. Next thing happens is Venus is entering your 9th house of Leo. Very just great time to just, like I said, just enjoy teaching, enjoy publishing, enjoy traveling and stuff like that. Like, that could be a very great time. You could be meeting new people from different cultures as well if you're single. That's Venus in the 9th house. But yeah, very enjoyable stuff. Excuse me. Okay, Mars Uranus happening in your 6th house. This is just kind of just liberating your ways of service, servicing other people. Your workspace is going to be maybe shaken up a little bit, which can either be good or bad. Dealing with coworkers as well. Could be annoying, could be challenging, but you might have to find some different ways to, go after your goals when it comes to work, or just, physical health, or just just routines and leases and stuff like that. What can improve you, but if you shake things up a little bit in this area of life for you Sag risings. Mercury and Jupiter will eventually go into their pre-shadow retrograde territory. Mercury's in its pre-shadow territory in your 9th house. And it'll be here by, when it stations direct in a couple months. So your 9th house, you'll have to, rethink this area of life. It'll go into your 10th house, rethink that area of life when it comes to career stuff. So very important time for you Sag risings to really think about, this part of these 2 areas of life. Jupiter, your ruler, going opposite your placements. It's probably been a little bit of challenge, but it also tried to at least give a little bit of benefits when it comes to relationships. Maybe it's a little bit challenging, like I said, bringing more open enemies, but this will eventually pay off. Eventually, when Jupiter leaves this area of life and goes into Cancer next year, you'll see the benefits that have been presented to you when it comes to working with other people, supporting other people, one-on-one connections and stuff like that. So that's only just a thing to really look at. Mars will enter your Seventh house to really amp up these desires when it comes to relationships, connections, supporting other people, partnerships, and stuff like that. You also have the second full moon happening in your second house of Capricorn. This is just really showing you, what has been maybe improving or just, coming to light when it comes to your own finances, supporting yourself, values, priorities, possessions, stuff like that. And like I said, Mars will increase the, your desires and when it comes to, chasing after these connections and, business contracts and stuff like that. But you can also have conflicts because Mars is in your seventh house, and it's never easy to have Mars going into your seventh house. So, but you just got to be careful when you deal with that. Then the Leo season happens. The sun moves into Leo, and then Mercury will enter Virgo by that time. So, the sun's into your Leo house. It's really amping up this fire, inspirational energy for you. It's going to be nice, but Mercury will end up going retrograde in your 10th house and then moving back into your 9th house of Leo. So, like I said, rethinking your long-term goals, what you want to do in the public life, your career, and then 9th house, traveling, teaching, foreign, anything foreign and stuff like that. So just really think about that. Capricorns. One sec. All right, Neptune stationing retrograde in your third house of Pisces as well as Saturn. So these two planets are just going back to improve your way of communicating, your way of just like interacting with people in your immediate environment. Your social life is trying to maybe improve a bit. You're gonna have to follow your intuition and see how you feel when it comes to these certain themes that come up for you, Cap risings. Mercury will enter your 8th house of Leo, excuse me, to, shift the whole vibe of how you're thinking. 8th house is about, shared resources, intimacy, secrets, the occult, inheritance, debt, loans and stuff like that, taxes and stuff like that. You're going to be thinking about all this stuff as these planets start to move into your 8th house. And then you have a new moon happening in your 7th house of relationships, other people, business contracts, partnerships, all that stuff. It's just time to set new intentions when it comes to this stuff. So then Venus will enter your 8th house, go opposite Pluto, as well as all these planets going opposite Pluto. You might have some feedback when it comes to, what you are possessing, your possessions, what you value, your money themes might come into, up to the surface, and you might not feel very comfortable dealing with this because, that's your money versus other people's money. Mars, Uranus will come together in your 5th house, really shaking up your romantic side if you are doing anything romantic or dating and stuff like that. Maybe shaking things up and, going after a new kind of love or what you desire. Something to do with your hobbies, entertainment, children, your creative side and stuff like that. It'll be shaken up at this point. Let's see. Then Mercury and Jupiter enter its shadow territory. Pay attention to what goes on when it comes to shared resources, intimacy, other people, like doing things with other people, looking at the darker sides of life. And then eventually Mercury will go into your 9th house about traveling and stuff like that, but we'll get to that. Jupiter moving into your Jupiter in your 6th house, moving into its pre-shadow retrograde territory, is just really you're going to be, adjusting to certain things, to the way you are serving other people. It's going to improve these ways of working and stuff like that eventually. But just pay attention of what goes on for the next couple months for you. Then Mars will enter your, 6th house. Shaking up, changing your direction, your ambition, your desire to chase after things when it comes to work, servicing other people, doing stuff like working out, will really increase your ambitions and confidence and stuff like that. Mars loves to be in the 6th house as well. That's really upping the notch of this energy. And then you also have the full moon, the second full moon happening in your 1st house of Capricorn. So think about the last full moon that happened in your 1st house last month. This is just a finalization of what you are being aware of at this point. And then the sun will enter Leo, and then Mercury will enter Virgo. And yeah, so actually I'll just keep it on that. The sun moving into your 8th house is just really just putting the spotlight, the focus on, you know, inheritance, intimacy, paying off debts and stuff like that. So think about this stuff. It's going to be for the next month. Mercury going into your 9th house. Yes, it's expanding your horizons a bit. Your mind is just really kind of like opening up to new ideas and stuff like that. But it's going to go retrograde. You're going to have to rethink these ideas, rethink these plans, and, you know, understand these delays of what is coming up at this point. And that is for you. That is it. Okay, Aquarius is. All right. Aquarius is. Okay, Neptune is stationing retrograde in your 2nd house of Pisces, so as well as your ruler Saturn. So think about, you know, any illusions, any deceptions of, you know, when it comes to like income, savings, you know, how you support yourself and stuff like that. So that's just gonna, you know, try to help improve these ways of supporting you. Saturn here is at least trying to show you how much you can spend, how much you need to be spending on, you know, your money, or just really focusing on your work ethic, your personal resources and stuff like that. So Mercury will enter your 7th whole sign house for you Aquarius risings in the sign of Leo. You're going to be focusing on other people, how to support other people and stuff like that, commitments and stuff. So, but all these planets going into Leo is going to go opposite Pluto in your 1st house. So maybe this like powerful kind of force that you are giving off to other people will give them the feedback that is either good or bad, or that can help try to balance out these, I guess, ideas, or the way what we desire, because Venus will go in there, and then the sun, what we are focusing on. So just think about this you versus other people kind of vibe as these planets go into your 7th house of Leo for you Aquariuses, okay? Then we have basically, we have the new moon happening in your 6th house of Cancer, which is just setting the intentions, you know, improving your workspace, improving your way of servicing others, improving your physical health in ways that can really help you feel protected and nurtured and stuff like that. So then Venus will enter your 7th house. Like I said, you're going to be valuing, you know, yeah, I mean, all these planets are going to go opposite your 1st house, so it could feel challenging, but it could also feel a bit, you know, a way that you're going to have to find, you know, balance. You might have to compromise a little bit more when it comes to relationships, connecting with other people and stuff like that. And then you also have, you're having Mars, Uranus coming together in your 4th house. So that's just really just gonna, you know, shake things up when it comes to your living situation, something to do with your family, home life, and stuff like that. Maybe it can liberate you. You might have some drama that you might have to deal with. It's squaring your 1st house, so that can bring a little bit more tension as well. But some way of doing things is gonna liberate you when it comes to, you know, home life, listening to your intuition, these maternal instincts that'll guide you as you get through the transit. Mercury and Jupiter will enter its shadow retrograde. Hold on. Okay, where's it at? Right here, just about right here. So pay attention to themes that happen, you know, coming up at the end of the month, when it comes to relationships, how they're supporting you, how you can support other people, what you're compromising and stuff like that. And then Jupiter entering its shadow period in your 5th house, which, you know, to to deal with like children, create your creative side, hobbies, entertainment, what's fun, and stuff like that. So pay attention to that. And then basically the sun moves into wait, that's before. So Mars will enter your 5th house of Gemini, shifting your ambitions and desires when it comes to, you know, hobbies, you know, what's pleasurable, your bucket list items, you know, being playful, you know, either your playful side, your inner child, or just doing things with children. You also have the second full moon happening in your 12th house, so there's a light shining in your dark area of life over here of 12th house, finalizing these themes to do with like your, you know, isolation, mental health, subconscious themes and stuff like that, alienation, addictions and stuff like that. So you're being aware of all that stuff. And then we get into Leo season, and then Mercury will enter Virgo by the end of the month. You know, it's focusing on other people, you know, compromising and stuff like that. Mercury going into your 8th house is really focusing on, you know, shared resources, how you can deepen these relationships that you have, but then it'll go retrograde, so you have to rethink these things when it comes to relationships. Okay, and then for Pisces, this is the last one. Hold on. Dang it. Okay, one sec. There we go. Gotta get to the right moment. Okay. Alright, so Neptune is stationing retrograde as well, and Saturn in your 1st house. So if you have, you know, maybe these themes that you have been restricted on or limited to do, or just, you know, you're just, you know, these themes that are kind of just like this Pisces theme is very spiritual. It's a very, you know, faithful type of energy, and having Saturn here has been really, you know, limiting yourself into, you know, doing things. Maybe you've been dealing with any sicknesses, because that's Saturn in the 1st house that I've learned out, because Saturn in the 1st house is all about you know, well, the 1st house is about your body, and Saturn can represent sickness and, you know, death and stuff like that. So having Neptune here is just really increasing and heightening your intuition, your impressions of how you present yourself. But yeah, this is just, these 2 planets are just going back to improve these energies to help you better yourself and to help better your approach to life, to impress others, to, you know, your approach, just to just change, just to improve your identity and your personality and stuff like that. So if there's like things that you have been maybe deceived by, or maybe you're deceiving other people, you're gonna have to really understand what is actually good for you and what is not good for you. And having Saturn here is really gonna help that out. Then Mercury goes into Leo in your 6th house of Leo, like I said, changing, you know, shifting the whole vibe shift of how you think, communicate, and process information. 6th house, work, service, health, physical health, any injuries, routines, coworkers, wellness, and stuff like that. That's going to be your theme of what you're going to be focusing on. And then you have a new moon happening in your 5th house for you Pisces risings in Cancer. So that's just really, you know, setting the intentions to improve any, you know, your creative side, your inner child, spending time with children, any hobbies you've been working on, entertainment, dating, romance, desires, inspiration, stuff like that. And then Venus will end up in your 6th house of Leo. And this is just going to really focus on, you know, creating better connections and creating more harmony when it comes to with your coworkers, in your work environment, making it more enjoyable. That's Venus in the 6th house. Okay, and then you also have, you know, yes, these planets are going to go opposite Pluto in your 12th house. So subconscious, like, impulses, like really deep impulses that are happening in the backdrop is just kind of feeling a little off at this point. Mental health versus physical health. Finding that balance will really be the key to that transit. Mars and Uranus are coming together in your third house, so something to do with liberating you when it comes to communication, short-term travel, doing things around in your immediate neighborhood or just area where you live at. This will really either stir up conflicts in social media or just in connections that you have in your local environment. Mercury and Jupiter will enter its shadow retrograde territory towards the end of the month, and that's just going to be a time to really slow down, rethink these things that are, and pay attention to what's coming up at this point. Sixth house, like I said, work, routines, how you are servicing others. That's going to be the theme that you're going to be cooking up on. Jupiter going retrograde, or not really retrograde, entering its pre-shadow period in your fourth house could really, either bring a lot of, I would say Jupiter in your fourth house is going to expand your home or your living situation in any way. This could be, moving into a bigger house, expanding your family, having, new people come into your family and stuff like that. You're going to be thinking about all this stuff. It could be challenging, bring drama, but just think about the stuff. You're going to have some benefits during that transit. Then Mars will enter your... Hold on. What is going on? Okay. Where are we at? Mars is entering your fourth house, and that could actually bring some conflicts and drama in your living situation with family and stuff like that, but it'll just kind of give you the ambition to really, listen to your intuition. What is your intuition really, saying? That will guide you through this transit. And like I said, it's going to be squaring your first house, so it could bring some drama, some challenges into, with family members or your living situation. Full moon in your 11th house of Capricorn, second full moon. So think about the first one. This is the finalization of what's going on, and this being aware of this 11th house, friendships, communities, abundance, opportunities, benefits from your career. You're really understanding all this stuff at this point. And then we get into Leo season, and then Mercury enters your 7th house of Virgo at that point, but then it'll go retrograde, and you'll have to rethink these themes when it comes to supporting other people, committing to other people as well. And and then the sun entering your 6th house is just really going to give you the energy to just do what you need in order to provide what you need. You need to work for food, you need to work for serving others, you need to serve yourself, and you need to do these certain things that'll improve your work and stuff like that. So certain little things are going to come up at this time. And that is it for the month. So if you are still here, thank you for watching this video. I really appreciate all of you. And then this is a little preview into August, but yeah, we'll get back to you next month, and we'll see you in the next video. So really, thank you for being here. Please like, share, and subscribe. Hit the notification bell, or please follow me on Patreon to support what I am doing to get this early access before I post it onto YouTube. And I'll post the merch. I'll post these link portals. So if you are interested in anything that I'm offering. So yeah, that is just kind of what I am doing, and that's July, guys. So July, yeah, the energy is gonna start to slow down as we get towards the second half, but the first half, kind of push your plans, keep the ball rolling, and before things have to slow down at that point. So yeah, that's July. Thank you for being here again, and I will see you in the next video.